What's up, guys? Coming to you with another video, this time about the Justice League number 5 and 6. Alright, so I'm taking a little bit bold approach on this video, calling out Snyder. I like Scott Snyder. He writes some good things, but I don't think that this Justice League really is one of them. And I haven't enjoyed it as much. So he knocked it out of the park with number one. Number one had everything that you wanted in a Justice League. You had the band back together from the TV show, which meant that Jon Stewart was also back, which was awesome. You had Hawk Girl back in there, even Aquaman's still in there, which is great. Still don't understand why you need Cyborg, but whatever. You had the Hall of Justice. You even had the Legion of Doom with the Doom. With the base of Doom, whatever they call that. Hall of Doom. I don't know. You had everything. It had everything that you could ever want in a Justice League issue. It was great. And and Martian Manhunter was back. Yes. And I loved the No Justice. I know some people didn't like it, but I thought it was really fun. You got a lot of character development. You got a lot of fun stuff going on, and an interesting story. The problem is this is not the same. And the reason that I don't care for this, other than the story just not being that interesting, I feel like this really had no build up. Suddenly, Lex Luthor is now a villain again, and suddenly this master plan that he apparently has been building forever that we never knew about, that never had been developed at all, is now working, and he's about to basically have control of the entire universe, maybe multiverse. And I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, there's no build up to this at all. Like, why should we care? I feel like if you're going to start a new series, you should start with smaller threats that bring the people together, even if it's a big threat, smaller than like universal, multiversal threats, and then build up to the big ones. If you look at Hal Jordan, the Green Lanterns, they've had all sorts of threats, but their biggest one has been now with the Dark Stars, and it's just been building up to it, where number 50 is just enormous battle. 48, 49, and 50 have just been so many battles. It's been great. And they didn't just come out of nowhere. They showed up one issue, and then you don't see them for a little bit, have a few side issues, and then boom, they're back in full force, and that's how you do it. But the other problem I have with Justice League this is, so there's a few problems. Some of the extra forces that are coming around, I wish they wouldn't just throw like, here's 100 new forces that are coming. I don't like the ultraviolet lanterns. I don't really think that's interesting. I thought it was a cool idea. I just don't like the way it was played out. And I kind of like that Jon Stewart became one, but I didn't like how it was so rushed. It was so rushed. And I have a feeling, I'm afraid that they're going to make him a ultraviolet lantern instead of a green lantern now. I'm like, no, Jon Stewart is a Green Lantern. He's the green core leader of the Green Lanterns. Don't take that away from him. That is his shining moment. He is the best Green Lantern core leader that we've ever had. Leave him be. He's great at it. We don't need the ultraviolet race. And why are they so powerful? So suddenly there's this new ring that no one's ever heard of, that no one's ever talked about, and suddenly they've taken over the entire Earth, and now they're more powerful than any other color. I'm like, yeah, that makes zero sense. Way to spring that entire thing on us like that. I mean, come on now. Develop it. But the title, the way I titled it. Now, okay, don't get me wrong. I sort of enjoy these. I will say this one I really enjoyed. This was written by Tinian, I don't know how you say it, the fourth. I loved him on Detective Comics. I really did. I really enjoyed him. And this is a nice little story. Like, it shows his rise. How I haven't without this, we It wouldn't make any sense. Uh, Fortress of Doom, I'm guessing is what they call it. I thought that was an interesting development. They talk about not being able to see the Fortress of Doom. Um, so that was cool. I really like this issue. But once again, and then Scott Snyder, he doesn't tell. I mean, he doesn't show you. He tells you a lot. I'm like, I mean, to a certain extent, comic book is a visual thing. You know, if we wanted to read, we'd buy a novel. We want a little bit of reading and a lot of awesome pictures. And if you mess up one or both of those, it makes the comic not as good. I mean, some of the artwork's good, although I don't really care for some of the looks of the people. Like, I don't like the way the Joker looks. Just, he doesn't look funny. The Joker is a jokester. He's a comedian. But no. He's the biggest problem. I'm very critical about the Joker because I love the character a lot. I think he's really one of the best villains of all time. And I really hate the way that people have portrayed him terribly. But at least he's got kind of like the full costume. Here he is. I just don't like the face. I don't know why he can't have like his old hairstyle. Anyways. But here's some. Let me find that example that I had just had. Here's him telling you instead of showing you. And this is some narrator talking. It says, it's just a fraction of the whole too, forged from a piece of the totality that broke off it into the past as it fades through time on its approach to Earth. A piece discovered by some very wise men and women. Not sure why we need to know about wise men and women. If only they'd been as wise as he, Lex, is thinking when the Joker calls him, Lexi, we're here. Why couldn't you have done a bubble with, the Joker saying, Lexi, we're here? And then there it is, the totality itself, the unbridled power of creation, locked away within the source wall since it was the multiverse was born. He's unlocked but 2 of the 7 hidden energies needed to take its power from, but it calls it home. He wants to take it. He can feel it. He even starts to reach out, but then something reaches back. I'm like, that was a lot of reading. You couldn't just show, like, honestly, you could just show him reaching out right here, and then you show the hand reaching back, and that's all you need. You could just say he starts to reach out, but then something reaches back, and then, you wouldn't even need all this other stuff. Of course he wants it. Of course he can feel it. We can see that. It's right there. It's right there in front of them. We don't need you to tell us he can see it. Yeah. Some things were okay. I like that Batman figured a way out. Because, of course, he had a kryptonite ring. So, let me see if I can't find another one. There's this. He does a lot of this. A lot of telling instead of showing. Let me see here. Here's a cheetah. 7 energies that have governed the universe as it was. Now as it dies, 7 counter energies to remake it. Let us take what we came for. What? What's 7 energies? Who's been talking about 7 energies and counter energies? No one. There's so much confusion in this thing. In this series. The object crackles with power so close to its source, so much that it stuns Batman. But he will win. He will grab it and use it to banish Luthor and Joker. John will recover and take the totality, and this will be over. Show us. I mean, honestly, some of that could have just been shown in the fact that Batman's hand is on Luthor's and they're both reaching for this. We know what's at stake. You don't have to tell us. You don't have to tell us that, oh, this will be over soon if Batman can get it, because John will recover, and yeah, I don't know. That's stupid. Okay, so I enjoy this, and honestly, my favorite part was at the very end. I love I love that the planet Earth became a White Lantern. I'm hoping that would be so cool if planet Earth was actually a White Lantern and not just like the people of it. I don't know. That'd be so cool. That'd be really cool. And there's so much you could go with it, and I would almost, forgive them for getting rid of Kyle Rayner having the White Lantern. So, which they've never played off of. He lost it so long ago. Well, why have we not learned that? But anyways, there's a Batman story that looks really cool. It's I think it's like Batman Damned or something. I don't know. Excuse me. So that looks cool. I'm excited about that one. It's a 3-issue thing. Looks pretty brutal, and looks really well done. Let me contrast this. I was going to do a video on it, and I will, probably. But look how little words there are in this. See how few words there are on this? All the artwork is doing the story. There's a little bit. I'm not going to spoil it for you if you haven't read it. I'll do that in a video. Yeah, Batman Damned. There's so much, like, all of the pictures are what tell the story. Which in comic books, it's the pictures that tell the story. We're not like back in the 50s. We don't need you to tell us every little detail. I mean, I like that in the classic form. I don't like it in modern comic books. I mean, the graphics have gotten so much better. We don't need the words to tell us. And back then, they kind of needed the words to tell us what was going on. But nowadays, you don't need it. You can draw it. Anyways, that's my rant. I've enjoyed the Justice League series. It's just not my favorite. The other Justice League was better. Oh, I like Justice League No Justice. And I'm honestly just waiting for the end of this series. I did enjoy the ending of issue 6, where everybody had to do the opposite of what they were supposed to do. So, Stewart had to let the ultraviolet ring take over, and Flash had to become still. Not sure what that does, but, because they haven't explained what the still force is, because apparently they can't take the time to explain anything. And then, who was the other one? Somebody else does something else that was supposedly opposite of what they were planning on doing. Batman's legs are broken. They didn't really talk about that much. It was there, but they're like, oh man, Batman, your legs, and that was it. You see him in a bed later, fully functioning like Batman usually does. Anyways, that's my thoughts on that. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you next time. Peace.